What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of me, my old man in a movie. I'm Gan, this is my dad, Ryan, and today we're going to be reviewing Final Destination Bloodlines. Alright, well, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what you guys thought of Final Destination Bloodlines. And before we get started, I'd like to read a brief synopsis of the film. Plagued by a violent and recurring nightmare, a college student heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle of death and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably awaits them all.
We got it. We'll get through it.
Yeah, alright. So that is a synopsis.
Yeah.
So first, we're going to be doing our initial thoughts, kind of giving our initial thoughts on the film. And then we're going to go into our Blockbuster Trio, which is 3 things that we liked about the film. And then we're replacing the trilogy of change with the cutting room floor, right?
That's right. That's what it's cutting room floor. Yeah, because we were having trouble sometimes coming up with 3 things that we changed. So, with films that we really like, this one being an example. So cutting room floor just kind of opens it up, allows us to say things we would take out, change, alter, whatever it is.
Yeah, and if we have more than 3, so some films.
we'll go gentle on all films, but yes. So that gives us some flexibility.
All right. So let's start with our initial thoughts. What do you think?
I mean, this was my favorite of the series, right? Like, I love this. I thought it started out really sweet. I love the period piece aspect of it at the beginning. I thought, we opened with an adorable couple rather than a group of punks. Because that's almost all these films. I told you, I was like, it feels like I'm watching a Friday the 13th. Like, it's just a bunch of young punks that are just going out doing stupid stuff, right? Yeah. And that's how these started to feel. But this one didn't. Yeah. So I really appreciated that. There was a lot that I loved about this particular one.
Oh yeah, this one is easily the best, not even close. Just obviously the quality of the film has gone up, even just CGI wise.
Yeah, CGI.
Like just the in the other films, sometimes you see the CGI, you're like, ugh, like it definitely looked fake. This one was very real,
which you expected with these. But they've done it. Yeah, you're like this one.
This one looked really good. The characters were fun. I mean, it was just a really good film altogether.
It was a good write. Like I told you, you could take out the accidents, and it would still be a story that would be interesting to watch. Like, it didn't even need that to be an entertaining story. And I didn't feel like with any of the others, like, the only reason you're going to see those, if you're into this sort of thing, is to see those, like,
the kills,
accidents, you know.
Yeah.
So there it is.
All right, those are our initial thoughts. Let's get right into our Blockbuster Trio.
Here we go.
All right, so you kick us off.
Kicking it off.
Yep.
I like this one. I said it kept you guessing. Now, all of them have some twists built in. Some of them were predictable over this series, but this one, to me, even some of the stuff that I thought I knew from the trailer, I ended up not knowing.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that on the way home, and I was like, wow. Like, so, wow. Like, so, yeah, like, I loved that part of it. It was just... It kept me on the edge of my seat.
It definitely
I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. Oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, that was different than I would have thought it was going to play out.
Yeah.
All that.
All right, so the first thing I had was modern fears. Almost like they made the movie feel way more like modern in the sense that it feels like it could be real. You walk outside and it feels like it's happening. Like it could easily happen at any point in time.
It was practical. It was
and that might have something to do with the cameras being updated. Like it feels like the real world more than the other films did, but it felt
Is there an example?
Well,
that doesn't give something away. I'm just trying to think.
I mean, there's a hospital one that the hospital is.
Oh yeah.
It just a lot of even some of the deaths were more
relevant.
Yeah.
To like how things would actually happen
today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. I don't want to.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. All right. I got number 2, connectivity to the other films. This one did a really great job pulling you in. Like, so I don't think you need to see all of the movies. I think the first couple would be great, but like, to me, there's just the way they kind of put a bow on it and tied things in. You're like, oh my goodness. I mean, I even heard a couple people in the audience. They were like, oh, that's you know, and they're like, it's exactly what he said. No, no. He says that, you know, what happened, but it was like, it was a callback from years ago.
Yeah, it was cool.
And so it was just really neat. Like, you could tell that the writers put some really good thought into this script.
Yeah, and even tying up loose ends that you had questions about.
Yeah, in other films.
From
like,
like 20 years ago.
Okay, that explains in movie 3 or 4 or whatever why that happened. Well done. Yeah,
it was really well done.
It was very satisfying in there.
Yeah. The second thing I had was the unique deaths. The deaths in this movie are very different than the deaths in the other films. Like, the deaths in the other films started to feel almost repetitive at times.
Yeah.
It's like very similar deaths.
I'm like, how many times are we going to have like water going in an electrical outlet?
Yeah.
Right.
But this one, all the deaths were very unique, very creative, very well done. And obviously, the effects made them look crazy.
Yeah, just fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is new. Yeah. All right. So the third thing for me is cast. I love this cast. I thought it was a great ensemble. There are parts, you know, like sometimes when we watch like an Avengers movie, Thunderbolts was a great example, Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, I just love this ensemble. And it almost felt like, I was like, great job on creating that kind of dynamic in this kind of film. You know, again, it's usually just a bunch of weird characters and you're like, I don't know, this doesn't, like, I don't. But this felt cohesive. It felt like you cared about these characters. I found myself really invested in this cast, and that, you know, made the movie so much better for me.
Yeah. All right, so the third thing I had is how surprisingly funny this movie was.
Yeah, this was great. A lot of laughs.
I didn't expect to laugh this much during this movie, other than just the deaths being so ridiculous and stuff. But this movie, like, genuinely had good jokes and good dynamic with the characters, and the characters were funny, and it was just really fun to watch.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Let's go into the cutting room floor.
So here we go.
All right. So I'll kick us off here because I got one.
Yep.
All right. I only have one thing that I would change, and it's not even really a negative. It's just I wanted this to be longer.
Yeah.
I felt.
What was it? 2 hours, right?
It was about an hour and 50 minutes. I think they could have pushed it to 2 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes or so. I think if you just spend a little bit more time, I wanted to spend a little bit more time with the characters.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job.
They did a good job, but I think, you know, I just wanted more of those characters. It would have been good.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's just a nitpick. It's just very subtle. It's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
yeah. So for me, I got nothing. I've been racking my brain. I just felt like this was such a complete film.
Yeah.
For what it was.
For what it was trying to do, there's just nothing that I can really say. Like,
there was one thing I wanted different. Because I was thinking about it, but I can't even say it because it's like right at the end.
That's a spoiler.
And it would really spoil big time. So it's like, you know, we talked about it, I just can't even mention it. But even though it didn't happen that way, it doesn't matter. Like I was just trying to nitpick and I was finding something. I just really, really like this. As much as I can like a film like this. I will put that caveat on it because this is not for everybody and this isn't really, you know, this is my type of stuff, but I just thought for what it is, they did it really well and I was impressed.
Yeah. All right, so let's go on to our rating. I gave this 9 pennies, and if you see the film, you'll know what the pennies are.
Yeah. All right, I'm going 9.5.
9.5.
9.5
Okay.
pennies.
All right, and to clarify,
yeah, even though we don't have something that we would cut out or take or change, doesn't mean it's a
mean it's a 10, right? I would say that if it was just a base film, just like nothing to change, I would say a 7.
Yeah.
But you have to earn like it being really good.
Yeah.
To have the extra 3. It was.
But the perfect movie. It wasn't the perfect movie.
Yeah.
Although for what it was, I thought it was.
I mean, it was about as good as they could make it.
Yeah.
I would say it's as good as they could make it.
I really don't think there's anything they could have done. I just
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not gonna give this type of movie a 10. That's just not because it's just not my like. I'm just not. You know.
Yeah.
It's got people getting killed by weird freak accidents. I'm like, I'm not gonna 10 that.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a 9.5. So there we go.
I'll give it a 9. All right. So see it in theaters. Wait for streaming, or skip it altogether. See it in theaters.
I would say, yeah. I mean, if this is your thing, this is your jam.
If you're a fan of the Final Destination movies, definitely see it in theaters. If you're not a fan of it, if you never heard of it, I'd still go see it in theaters. I mean, yeah. I think this is an enjoyable movie, whether you've seen the other 5 or not.
If you can handle gory freak accidents, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, if you did cutaways for every accident, I think Mom could handle this movie. I think she'd like this movie.
Yeah.
If we cut away and they just went right before the thing happens, and you just imagination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It would work.
Yeah.
It would work. They should have that version of it available. That's my cutting room floor.
That's in the trailer. That's basically the trailer, right?
That's my cutting room floor. I would take out all the kills.
There you go.
Just a small change.
Just ruin the entire movie.
But if you had that version, I think you would just... They should do that. They should just re-release it, and now the
PG-13.
PG-13 version. And then a whole new audience opens up and they make another 100 million.
Yeah. I mean, they could do that. They could do that.
Cutting room floor.
They could do that.
Perfect. We're cutting scenes of the movie out. It's just great. Okay. All right. There it is.
Well, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what you guys thought of this movie, if you guys liked it, and we'll see you guys next time.